2016 brought with it the release of Final Fantasy 15, which was, shall we say, a bit long awaited, as the development cycle was both long and rocky. However, the game did of course finally come out, and all in all was received pretty positively. I've heard a lot of good things about the game, even had a good chance to play it myself. I'm pretty confident when I finally do get around to it, it's going to be a very enjoyable experience. However, there is one section of the game in particular that didn't go down too well, and that is of course the end of the game, that being Chapter 13. Now, there were numerous sort of controversies surrounding this, because first of all, there were people saying that the original Chapter 13 was created at the last minute and was rushed into the game without proper testing, and of course when Square announced that they're going to be updating the game for free to change the final chapter, this of course kicked off a debate as to whether or not Square should be listening to fan feedback and then change the game to such a degree that it compromises their original vision, or if they should actually stick to their guns. But Tabata said that both of these are pretty much incorrect. He doesn't think that they're going to be changing the game to the point where they're going to be compromising their vision, and Final Fantasy 15 was always supposed to go a bit strange in the last section, just perhaps it needs a bit of a tweak. Of course, we don't know exactly what changes they have planned just yet. However, Tabata, the director of Final Fantasy 15, said, quote, "The direction of Chapter 13's content was a deliberate decision made from the development team. That said, the amount of stress inflicted on the player while running through this chapter was greater than we had anticipated. We believe resolving this issue will naturally lead to a better gameplay experience." And as I said earlier in the video, he seems pretty confident and comfortable that they're not going to be compromising their vision to make this section a bit more fun to play, a bit more playable in general, a bit less stressful and so on. And he went on to say, quote, "When it comes to the overall playability of the game and not the main plot, updating the game or receiving player feedback will not make the game inconsistent to the development team's vision. We do not intend on making this a completely different game from what was already delivered to the players. We are making changes in order to deliver a further enhanced gameplay experience for those who have purchased and played the game, but this is not necessarily limited to Chapter 13. Our main objective is to relieve any unintentional stress to the player and add elements that will expand the breadth of the gameplay. Furthermore, the story will be easier to comprehend as we strengthen the connection of events surrounding this chapter. Please wait a little longer until we announce more details regarding the updates." Now, of course, Square have said from the start that they will be updating the game with more content and obviously the usual array of patch fixes and bug fixes and so on. So this isn't inconsistent with that, but obviously it depends how big of a change it is, really. I mean, it sounds like from what Tabata said, they're not going to be changing the core of Chapter 13, they're just going to be making it a bit less stressful, a bit more fun, as I said earlier. And if that's the case, then it should still fall within their original vision, but again, I'm basing this on pure speculation. We have no basis to put this feeling on, unfortunately. We don't know exactly what Square have planned or anything like that. Hopefully they're going to tell us soon, as well as when we can expect the update. But I want to hear some thoughts from you guys. I've heard a lot about this ending and how it's not really that brilliant and how it does really need an update. So to be honest, I think from what I've heard secondhand, again, haven't played the game yet myself, it sounds like it's going to be a welcome update. You know, the developer's vision is one thing, but as long as you're not sort of interrupting the core vision of a good game, you're just improving upon it and making it a better experience for the player while still keeping the essence of that, I don't see a problem with that, to be honest. But of course, I'd love to hear some thoughts from you guys. For anyone who has played the final chapter, who's watching this or has seen it online or what have you, I've been keeping pretty spoiler free on Final Fantasy 15, so haven't watched any Let's Plays or anything like that on it. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think it needs changing? Does it need a drastic change? Does it need a small tweak? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. They're always appreciated, as is your support. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.